Hello and welcome to a brand new series I'm calling Gaming Gaiden. Gaiden is a Japanese word meaning side story, and as such, this series will focus on miscellaneous items, things that are not games, controllers, accessories, or anything like that, but just really interesting things in gaming that, really deserve their own showcase. So for this series will be kind of semi-occasional. It won't be very often that I'm doing these kind of videos. So maybe expect one a month or so, maybe more, maybe less. I'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, let's get right into it. This first episode, I want to talk about NES dust sleeve variants. So NES dust sleeves, these are the things that you'll pick up semi-occasionally if you look for NES games in the wild. They will often still have their dust sleeves, but not always. And they come in 3 different varieties, and I thought it might be a good idea to tell you about them. So, in North America and in Europe, the NES huge games that were just massive came in these dust sleeves. The Famicom games did not come in sleeves. These things were meant to, you put your game in them, and then they protect them from dust. Kind of. Personally, I don't really use these because I have a NES collection consisting of several hundred NES games, and I don't have several hundred of these dust sleeves. And even if I did, they add up when you add them to a shelf and put one next to another, next to another, and next to another. They eventually will, be so bulky that they're just better off if you don't use them. So if you have a small NES collection, you might want to get into dust sleeve collecting. But if not, just throw them away, or just don't get them. Alright, so let's get into the dust sleeves. Now, for official NES games, such as Super Mario Bros. 3, they came in these Nintendo embossed logos on both sides, and these were for first-party games made by Nintendo. So you pulled your game out and be like, hey look, there's a Nintendo game that's made by Nintendo. Put it on the shelf. So some people put them this way, and this actually makes more sense to me because this is the point where you grab your NES game and pull it out. But the way that they're designed with like the label should be there, so you have to sort of pinch your fingers in between, pull it apart, and then pull the game out. So it never really made much sense to me. So there's the official version of the dust sleeve. But for third-party games, such as LJ and Jaws here, the dust sleeve has no Nintendo logo on them whatsoever. These are they're the same case, but they're not embossed. So there's the comparison between the 2 versions. They're both the same. These are just for third-party games. But there is a very uncommon third type. And the uncommon third type is this one right here. For very late NES games that were either made by Nintendo or licensed by Nintendo, didn't matter if they were third party or not, they came in these special cases that had, I don't know, kind of a shiny tint to them. If you actually see this, it looks really nice, especially compared to just the bland red of the original. I don't know if you can really see the difference there. So the example game I'm using is Mega Man 6 because that was released towards the very end of the NES's life in 1993, and this game came in one of these cases. Kirby's Adventure is another game that I can think of. Zoda's Revenge, Star Tropics 2, Mega Man 6. There's probably other games that came out in that era that, have these cases, but because, not many people were buying NES games at that point, and not many people still have the dust sleeves, usually you can just find Mega Man 6 by itself. This will be, for sale, big bucks because it's a rare game, but it's very unusual to find it with the dust sleeve. In fact, when I picked this up, my copy of Mega Man 6 did not actually come with the dust sleeve. This was just a random pickup when I bought a pile of dust sleeves just by themselves. I bought something like 60 dust sleeves or something. It was like, a local store had them, they just wanted to get rid of them. So they put them 60 dust sleeves and they wanted $10 for them. I was like, okay, I'll buy them, I guess. And because I thought maybe I'd eventually switch to using them. Never have. And of those 60 dust sleeves, this one was in all of that. So that makes this kind of unusual. This is the only one I have, and it's kind of cool, right? Because it's shiny and it's really neat. All right, and since there have been those three official kinds, over the years there have been several homebrew manufacturers that have made their own kind of things. And the first one I can think of is, what was it, Majesco, or no, what was Messiah with the Generation NES. You can see their little logo on the thing. And this right here is actually the manual for the Generation NES Famiclone. You pull it out, and hey, look at that. It's a manual. It's a book. So, you can look through that. It's kind of neat because it is exactly the same size as an actual NES game. You can even put them side by side, and they're like the same shape and everything. It's even funny, like you turn around a standard NES game, look at its back. Oh, that's a bad example because that's a late game. This one, okay, there we go. There's the standard back of an NES game, and here's the manual, right? Turn the manual around. Also, the manual's back. Just kind of funny about that. Alright. And finally, the last example I have is RetroZone's dust sleeves. RetroZone's dust sleeves for games like Battle Kid 2. They come in these, very nice RetroZone logos that sort of mimic the widely popular Nintendo style, but, using RetroZone label. And these ones are pretty cool. Again, they come with, for homebrew games, so it's completely not using any original material at all. So if you want to get into NES dust sleeve collecting, there are quite a variety to get. Well, anyway, that will about do it for this video. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions about NES dust sleeves, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Also, be sure to hit the like button, because hitting the like button helps support my channel and lets me know that you guys want to see more videos like this. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching and take care.